Welcome to the AI for Interior Designers podcast, where creativity meets cutting edge technology. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and explore how it's revolutionizing the interior design industry. From AI powered design tools to the latest trends and innovations, we've got you covered. So plug in, relax, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to AI for Interior Designers podcast. P.S. This intro was written by and voiced by AI to sound like your host, Jenna Godusek.
Hey designers, welcome back for episode 65 of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. I'm your host, Jenna Godusek, and today we're going to talk about the tipping point that we are finally at of AI and being good enough where everybody thinks that they can do all of the things. So we knew this day was coming. It is here. I feel like, we prepared ourselves as much as we could, at least I know I have for the past 2 years. I think a lot of people are going to be blindsided here because it is really good and people are going to start using it. And, things are going to go bad. It's because it's still not 100% what it needs to be for people to be able to create rooms and designs and, whatever for themselves without interior designers. But we're getting to this point where people think that they can. And it's interesting. So that's our topic for today. I posted the other day on my Instagram. I was heated. So that's kind of what drove this. Also, the tech is here. Like 2 weeks ago, Gemini released the newest update, which is Gemini 3. And if you know about Nano Banana, hopefully you do by now because the banana is everywhere. I got a new phone and it is literally a picture and now there's a banana that says you want to edit this picture the second I take it, which is interesting to me. But if I was somebody else, I'd be like, why is there a banana right here? But that's how deeply ingrained this is becoming. Like it is just part of our day to day. And so what makes us special? What makes us different and unique than somebody that's just like, well, I could just do that on my phone, or I just took a picture. Now I'm going to say, well, now change this wall color to whatever, because it's built into my camera roll. Like, why wouldn't I do that? It's so my thought on it is a lot of these tools have been there, right? Like not in this capacity, but there's going to be people that do it. There's going to be people that can actually figure it out and do it well. And there's still like an art to all of it. But then there's going to be people that are just like, I don't want to touch that banana button. Like, what is that? Like, I have no interest in doing any of this. I value you as a professional and your opinions and your design expertise. So why would I want to, do something like that? And I think that there's definitely a demographic, maybe like age ranges that I've just noticed, my parents' age where they're just like, why tech? Which is also funny because my dad never was on any social media. Sorry, I'm losing my voice today. Never on any social media. He retired, as did my mom this year. And now they're both on Instagram. And they're like, hey, we liked your video the other day. I'm like, thank you. but it's funny because for somebody that never embraced technology while they were working, I mean, they used it, of course, at work. But my dad was never a social media person. And so now he's like, show me how to use the Instagram. And I'm like, I love that. But it's cute because of things that they post, it's like they take like family pictures and they're like, oh, I saw my cousins today. And it'll post that with like words on it. And I'm like, I love this. But it just goes to show how deeply different we use social media and technology. And for my dad and my mom, they don't know really what I do. I don't think a lot of people, like, I know none of my neighbors know anything about what I do. I said that to my husband yesterday. I was like, I just sit here and I make like podcasts and content and I watch everybody all day on my window and nobody has any idea. Cause like, I'm not really a social person. I have a few neighbor friends here, but like, I'm not somebody that goes out and like talks to all my neighbors. I just am not. I'm really kind of introverted when I'm at home. So it's just funny to see like, we all use this technology or we all are like have this online presence and it's just so different, right? So I don't know exactly what my point where was what there, but like the divide in the way people are using this technology and also social media. I mean, there was some very interesting social media reports that just came out basically saying that people are flocking back to Instagram and Facebook. In the Facebook demographic, lighting is so weird. The Facebook demographic in here is what it has traditionally been. And it's that older generation. Typically, there's more females, I guess, on Instagram. I would say like there's a little bit more guys I saw on Facebook, but a lot of people are coming back to like those platforms again. And it's just interesting to me because I find myself going through phases where I'm like, I am so over this. Like, I am so over the AI slop that I see, like the AI videos that are like either so falsely representing somebody else's likeness, which is disgusting to me, or it is just like stupid. It's just stupid. And I don't have the brain capacity or the time in my day to waste my time with endless scrolling, which is why I never got on TikTok because I know I would sit there and my ADHD would kick in and I would not move for 6 hours. So I just never brought that into my life for that reason. That's what I'm betting. But that was the main reason because I see people just rotting their brains, scrolling, and I'm like, get a job. Get a job and go out and work because I know you're not. And that is all you do all day. And so for me, that's not really an option. But I built my company on social media. Like I built my company on Facebook in 2015 by starting, well, technically I started my company, but then my Facebook group came in 2018. So it was the peak of Facebook groups, right? But now I want nothing to do with Facebook. The amount of hatred, disinformation, just the algorithms that are so clearly jacked up. I don't even know how to describe it, but I get on there and I'm like, this is trash. Like this is like the what are those old like it's like a tabloid magazine. That's what it feels like for me when I go on Facebook. And it's not even like it's an algorithm thing at this point because like I don't go on Facebook. So like I don't know it's random when I go on, but it's always trash. It's always trash. And I'm like, if I know this and I have removed myself from that, and the people that are on there and they're fueling and perpetuating the hate and the disinformation, they're so in it that they cannot get out of it. Where AI is coming into play, we're starting to see what's called like dead internet theory, where basically there's so much fake content out there that finding and relating to real people and humans and it's just exhausting. There's going to be a point very soon, and I've been talking about this literally for 2 years, where AI needs to learn, it needs to train itself. And at some point, it has consumed all that we have created, whether that's through social media feeds or, whatever. And it's got to wait for us to do more things for it to be able to catch up. But when people start to take what they create in AI, like they write a blog article about something in ChatGPT and then they post on their website, but it was written by ChatGPT. They never like gave their 2 cents. It was just regurgitated information from tons of other people that's already been done before because there's nothing new there. So when you keep creating and recreating based off this was AI. Now AI went scrubbed all the AI sites. This is AI, but it's a worse version because now it's even more misinformation. That's also what is happening slowly to social media. And I'm not here for it. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't know if you saw my post the other day on Instagram, but I am done with this. The people that you see, like the ones that are really out there putting this stuff out there, I'm done. I'm over it. So I said something about it the other day. And that's kind of also what I was going to talk about today because the ones that are out there posting stuff on social media right now that have to do with AI and have to do with the interior design industry have nothing to do with the interior design industry and are jumping on this AI thing, probably were working at a minimum wage job last week. And now they're like, I'm an AI expert. I do this, I do that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, you are not in our industry. You are not an interior designer. You're probably not even a tech person. You learn how to vibe code, which is basically you chat with a program and they make the app for you. Like, that's what I do. I'm not a coder. That's what I do. So they bring nothing of value to the table. They regurgitate, they test every industry things, and then they throw something at the wall and then they say, I'm an AI expert and this is what you can do. And it's just crap. It's just crap. And that's just perpetuating the BS that you see in your feeds every day. I know a lot of people that listen to this don't have time to go on social media. You run very busy businesses. A lot of you have firms. And some of you have even told me you just listen on your way to the commute, on your when you're commuting into the office. Thank you, by the way. I just do this because why not, right? Like I don't like a sponsored thing. This isn't. I just wanted to start a podcast because I can talk about stuff like this where feel like nobody else is. Sometimes I'll bring in guests to talk about it with me, and sometimes I just have to say it like it is and then put it out there. And if you agree, cool. If you don't, that's cool too, but it has to be said. And I figure I might as well be the one to say it because I don't work for anybody else. I work for me. So what's the worst thing that can happen? You unfollow me? Okay. That's okay too. Because I'm not even on social media these days as much. And that's all right. So anyway, circling back, the Adderall has not kicked in yet today. So this conversation is going to be all over the place. We'll see how we can edit this after, but um I I just am so over seeing everybody try to use this AI technology now that it's good. Now that we're at this tipping point and be like, "Hey, are you in the interior design industry? Or are you trying to decorate your house and not even in the interior design industry? Here's all these shortcuts that you can do with these AI tools, but they're still not right. I'll get into that in a second, but they're still like almost there. But if you were a professional, you would realize that floor plan makes no sense, or that video you just shared is not what you think that it is. Like that room that you turned it from a design board into a video does not look anything alike. And you're not trained enough at all to realize that. You just want to build your online following. I'm an AI guru by posting something that you hope will stick in every single industry. So I went on Threads the other day and I started seeing this. And so that's what my little rant was about the other day on Instagram, because it's been a while since I've been on Threads. I really love Threads. I'm starting to get back into it now. I came on when it was like really early because I was never on Twitter. I felt that like the hatred and just like blech, on Twitter. I never wanted to get on. But then, it turned into X and all those people came over and I was like, I'm done with this. Like it was just, Ghostbusters, how like there's like the ooze and everything is just so negative and it just like fuels and perpetuates this. That's what it felt like. It was like oozing into this like happy place to be on Threads. And then people just started coming over like with hate, and we were all like, get out of here. But I feel like it's kind of leveled out a little bit. It's a much nicer place than most of the other platforms. But now I'm seeing this stuff. Probably got on some kind of an algorithm because I started commenting on them, and that'll get you in trouble with the algorithms because they're like, oh, you like that? Okay. So I'm on Threads the other morning and I start seeing all of these. And it's like these guys from God knows where. Like, I don't even know. But that seems to be the main thing. It's always a guy, and it is somebody that has no business doing what they're posting. Okay. Just because you play with AI does not make you an AI expert. And also, did you just get out of high school? Like, a lot of these guys are so young and they're like, no, I'm going to be an alpha male and I'm going to like start my own company and I'm going to work for myself and I'm going to teach AI. And it's like, sit down. Like, nobody wants what you're selling, okay? Like, if we want to just learn about AI, we're gonna sit and just talk to AI and ask it questions. Like, that's all you really have to do if you wanted to learn AI from AI. If you wanna learn it from a human and learn how to actually use it, find somebody that is in your industry that does those things, right? That's what I do for interior design. But Same thing for other industries. Like if you're a photographer, find somebody that does AI photography, if that's, your jam. So seeing these people just post like one thing to another thing, and it's every other post is different. Every other post is hurting some kind of an industry. So I just got on it. Like, I just had to say something because I can't not, and it's kind of a problem. But I went on and I started commenting, and I don't think that any of them were out of line. Like, nobody ever said any of them were out of line. Actually, a lot of people agreed with me, but I basically was like, that's not it. What you are sharing right now makes literally no sense to actual professionals. And I'll give you an example. So a few of them would share things like, oh my God, Nano Banana is so good now. And the new Gemini 3 is incredible. You can take floor plans, it can analyze them, and then it can turn them into room rendering videos. No, like to an extent, it's almost there. I'd say about 65%. But if you do not know what you're talking about, you think it looks good. So you post that. But looking at it, I'm like, what is wrong with this floor plan? Like, what is wrong with when you turn, well, I know exactly what was wrong, but when you turn this floor plan into the video as you're teaching people to do and saying, oh my God, this is amazing, everything changed. Your living room is now where your kitchen was. Like, that's not the same thing. And if you don't have the critical eye enough to look at it, then what are you doing? You're just sharing like junk online. Going back to my original point, I am over the internet because it's just junk online. Like, if you don't know what you're talking about and you just grab AI stuff and post it, then you probably think that it's right. But more times than not, ChatGPT lies through its teeth still to this day. Okay. That's why I don't really use it as much. I use it in a way where when this is how I always use AI, but I voice clip, I transcript in, I do things like that, where it's my words, my ideas, and then I have it fill in the blanks or take this crazy ADHD conversation that I'm having with myself right now and basically like make it make sense. So um that's that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, you don't have any place here. Like, get out of our industry. Like, we've had enough tech companies come into the interior design industry and say, I'm going to make this tech that would be so incredible for professionals, but I'm going to give it to everybody else because that's where more money is. And then professionals get screwed every single freaking time. We are the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to creating technology for an industry. Besides social media and marketing, everybody else has a home. Everybody wants their home to look nice. And we all have goals for how we want to live in our space, right? So that kind of inspiration is obviously always on the internet. That's just what we've always had. Pinterest, like, cool, great. I love the inspiration. But there's a fine line in taking the professionalism out of the industry and giving it to everybody to make it look like they can do what we do. We all know as professionals what goes into this. We know the amount of training, the continuous education, the years in the field that it takes to know how to design something in a two-dimensional world, right? If you design on CAD or whatever, and then bring it into fruition, make it happen. And that's where these guys online lack that place between the real world and the AI and the internet, and the lack of knowledge for how things actually take form where we are in the planet. So it's interesting because it's going to create this whole new wave, and I've been saying this for 2 years, of people that are going to pretend that they are professional interior designers by using really great imagery that is AI. They've been doing it for a while. And a few of them got lucky with some really great pictures that came out in the early times where people couldn't tell, or they doctored them or something. But if you run them through AI machines, you know. So it's detrimental to those of us that are professionals that could potentially get a bad rap because somebody with no business doing this misrepresented themselves and then they got burned. We've been talking about that. That's been a thing, right? But now there's more of them. And now there's people out there that will follow them because they feel like they're right or they are professionals because they can produce this type of thing, which kills me because the ones that should be using the AI technology in the way that is beneficial to them don't have time to learn it for the most part. Like, that is my biggest thing that I get going out talking to designers in all corners of our industry is that, man, I want to learn that. And I've been putting that on my calendar and, all that stuff, but I just don't have the time. And it's like, yeah, but if you just did one thing in your day to day, when you say you don't have time to actually like implement it, then you would have like 10 times more time by the end of the day. But I get it because it's like, it feels daunting. It doesn't feel like, oh, well, there's the Gemini thing in the top right corner of my inbox. Maybe I'll just click that and just see if I can ask this question there versus going and searching through endless emails. Like, I get it. It feels daunting to learn that. But also, if you don't use these tools, these guys are using these tools. Your neighbor that wants to design their living room is using these tools. And she's going to find you down the street and say, hey, like, I made this with AI. What do you think? And you're going to be like, good luck. Pay me and I'll tell you. I guess that's the flip side. Maybe I'll just kind of go into that because I'm seeing that architecture has now been declassified as a professional license. And I think a lot of that, and I do need to do more research. I'm going to just be totally honest because I'm seeing different perspectives here. And I'm like, maybe what I read wasn't entirely everything. So I'm going to say this, but I'm going to go do more research after. And if you have anything that you know about what's going on, please put it in comments. I want to hear your perspectives too. So architecture, nursing, lots of different industries right now are basically being declassified or whatever, I don't even know, rolled back as professional degrees. And a lot of that has to do with like the funding. So getting student loans to be able to go into those careers is now being pretty much retracted because they're no longer professional. So either retracted or at least reduced from my understanding. And now, again, I will research a little bit more, make sure that I am up and up on what's really happening here, but that is my understanding on this. So, with that, we're going to see a lot of people just kind of be like, well, I can do that. It's not a professional degree. And I got ChatGPT and I can make a floor plan. Okay, that like we know obviously that is a serious issue. We know that. But now like think and somebody left this comment on my video the other day and I just loved it because it's like now think about like the amount of work we could be getting to fix those problems. So somebody wants to create new look in their living room, but it's a very small living room. So AI is like, well, just knock down that wall right there. Cool. You got a whole open living room. You can see your dining room and your kitchen now. That's probably structural, right? It's probably load bearing. And maybe they just like take matters into their own hands and just do it because like that's the world we live in. And everybody's just like, whatever at this point. Okay, your house falls down, right? So that's a problem because just because AI recommended it, it is probably not up to code. Most likely not doable unless if you're creative, you can figure it out, right? But there's so many issues with that. And I think that I don't even need to say them out loud because we know. But I also know that when people start to implement these things and they start to realize, my God, I can't actually make that in real life. Or that sofa that they recommended, I'm having a hard time finding it. Where do I find that? Well, we can make custom products. We can design them, like literally, like design them so that they can be made in the real world. It's one thing to design something using AI and then say, make that. It's another thing to like build it so that it's a pattern to actually reproduce, right? So being able to be almost like that middleman and step up what we know to be true and just kind of wait for them to come and say, we've been waiting for you. We knew that you all were going to try doing this because that's the economy. You're going to try to figure out how you can use AI and do these things yourself. It is fun. It's exciting, right? I can't knock them for that. They didn't make the technology. They're just the ones that are being promoted that they can use this technology, right? So homeowners will start to do these things and implement them. And then when they realize that, holy shit, I am now halfway through this project. My living room is torn up. My bathroom is torn up. My trades aren't showing up. Like, well, That's a whole other thing. Uh, what do I do? What do I do? Do I just sell my house at this point? Do I just like sleep on the floor and the deck? I don't even know. People are going to need help. And that's where we don't judge. We say, I got you. And then we start getting the work. So that might be a business model all in itself. Did you try AI and fail? I'm here for you. I'm your support. I got you. I will pick up the pieces and make this something that you can live in as a human and not something a robot created on the computer that you thought you could implement in real world. So there's so many issues. There's so many problems right now with people that lack the ethical boundaries using these tools. And also the people producing these tools lacking the most boundaries. Let's be honest. The people in the highest points of power are not living up to their responsibility of this powerful tool right now. And they are making the choices that will shape the future with no guardrails. And that's terrifying. So, what I teach, what I preach every single day, every single session is we cannot rely on the big companies to regulate. We can rely on what we do ourselves every day, every minute that we are using this technology. So if that means I don't go to another designer's professional website or an artist's website and steal their imagery, whether it's on Pinterest, on House, I don't care. I don't take other people's imagery and put it into any of my generative AI. It's just, I just don't do it. And the reason why is because I have that free will to make that conscious decision and say, if somebody did that to me as a professional, and then they put that in and said, shop this room or give me a shopping list that's, just like this, or if like, you know, take that style and, maybe adapt it to their room, it's still stealing. It's still stealing. And we all know, hopefully, that stealing is wrong. We don't all know that though, right? So while this might look like something that to us, it's a big deal to me. Like that's a big deal. Seeing other designers take other people's images without asking, just freaking ask. Just ask. That's it. Like, and that's been, something on the internet forever. People sharing stuff and either not crediting or crediting without permission. And, it bothers people because you spend time and money and everything that goes into that just for somebody else to steal the credit. And people don't read, so this has been an issue forever. So now, like, it's even worse. Now it's like we have to worry about our imagery, our likeness, our style being stolen in training AI from our websites, but also needing our websites to be able to get new clients and talk about what we do and build authority so that they are seen with SEO searches and AI SEO searches. So this right now is a time where we have to tell a story about how we live, how we work, and how we operate as professionals in the real world and what we do for our clients, and how and when we use AI as a tool. What does it do for you that I now have the capacity to create images in a matter of minutes or right in front of you while we're talking and say, do you like this sofa there? Let's change the color. Let's do these treatments here. Let's put pom-poms on it. Like we can do that in real time. And while right now there is a little art to like prompting to get what you want because it is still a little, temperamental, we'll say, but it is there at the point where you can do these things and they can become incredible visuals that are realistic using real products in real spaces. So that's the tipping point. We are there now with Nano Banana, with all of the other things that are probably going to be releasing here in December. That's why I wait and I do a massive update, which is coming, by the way, to the daily and also to the CEU new program, which I haven't even talked about yet. And so that all of the things are going to be changing here in December anyway. So if Nano Banana and Google Gemini just came out with this incredible new update for images, you bet everybody else is too. And let's just go back to the ethics of it all. Nobody cares that they're creating these things that are wiping out industries and jobs. Jobs, like, come on. and they only care that they have the best product on the market. So we're about to see other people come out, other big large language models come out and be like, well, these are our new features and aren't they awesome? Because this is the time of year that they all do that. But at what detriment? We've already lost a lot of jobs. And I say that in most other industries, but I also have done other episodes about, if you don't have anything that's unique about yourself online or your services or what you do to stand out, you will be washed up in this. Like AI predicts patterns. If you're somebody that kind of looks and sees what's online and then replicates that as a design company, like that is also what AI does. So you have to set yourself apart, whether that's by style, by personalization, by humanization, by basically saying, I only work in the real world or I only do this one thing. And that's what makes me unique. You have to figure that out right now before AI starts to take over what you're currently doing. I think it's important to look at your business model right now and say, where could these tools come from me? Where can I use them to my benefit? And how can I use them in a way that other people are not? Because it's untapped territory, guys. Like, the tools are here, but human creation and inspiration and creativity will always allow us to be able to use them in different ways, right? So what we all have as a tool, I'm going to use different than you're going to use, and it's a personal experience. So just like how those large accounts on Instagram, whatever they are probably pretty big because they found something that relates to people and people wanted to follow for that reason. What is your reason? What sets you apart in your company, in your socials, in your marketing that's different than everybody else? There's We've been talking about this forever. This is not new, but now it's more important than ever so that you don't get steamrolled by AI. Like, I want you to have a job. I want all of us to have jobs. But we're at that tipping point that we've been talking about, and you have to prepare now. Okay. Like, you have to figure this out. If you are getting into the new year and you're like, man, business has slowed down, adapt. Okay. People look at my business models and I know that people make comments about like, well, she's doing this now, she's doing that now. Yes, I am, because if I stay stagnant, I'm not creating and I'm leading by changing. So if somebody else starts doing what I've been doing, I don't do it anymore. It's been done. I already did it. Now everybody else is doing it. I'm a trendsetter. I don't follow those trends after they are set. Okay. Like, I'm on to the next trend. This is how trendsetters work. You all are trendsetters. You should know that, right? When it comes to interior design and how, and it's not just like style trends I'm talking about. Like, if you are an interior designer, you lead. Like, I hate the word influence, but you influence how people live in their space. And that's not just pretty things. That is functionality. That is, I have this air purifier because I feel better. Like, just do these things because it's the right thing to do. It might not be trend yet, but it will be because I have discovered something that's amazing and I want to share it with everybody. But then once you figure it out, I'm on to the next thing to learn it and then share it with you. And then my job is to keep discovering the next best thing. AI cannot do that. Okay, whether that's in the interior design industry or how to use AI for your business. AI is a tool. And until we tell it what we're going to do with it and start creating with it, it's scary to people because they see it as a competition. But that competition is 3 steps behind you. If you haven't created something yet for the next best thing, it doesn't know the next best thing. So think about how you're going to do that in your business. How do you stay ahead of the AI and the trends and keep changing? Like, you have to change. You cannot stay static, okay? You have to change services. You have to change deliverables. And you can cut out things now that are so silly to be doing. And I see so many designers just spinning their wheels every day. And I'm like, why did you just render that for 20 hours? Your client didn't even want it. Why did you waste your time? So sitting here, getting everything to scale, doing all the things when I could have sent a non-scaled yet visually communicative image that I created in AI in, maybe 20 minutes because there was a few different iterations to it versus 20, 16 hours or whatever, like however long it took you to render that the first time, only to have to change it again, to apply all these materials to elevations and meticulously get everything lined up for what's going to be a crappy render anyway that I have to go in and enhance, right? Because it's always going to look like a render until we do the enhancement mode. So why waste your time? If you have the selections and you have an elevation and you're professional, then say, here, put the two together. And then if they don't like that, or if they want to see this over there or that over here, you can just chat and say, move this there, move that there. It is a in-person communication tool. I have not yet found a non-designer that has successfully been able to do this. I have clients that hire me. I have clients now busy. I have 3 design clients right now. I'm building a ton of websites and building a ton of other things. It's been a busy year, and one day I will sleep again. I'm trying to take some time off at the end of the year because I haven't slept in a very long time. So, anyway, when I wrap up these projects, like, they hired me for that reason. And so I'm using this technology to show you like how I actually am working through and when and where I'm using AI. I have one project right now that I did not use any AI for, not even mock up images. Okay. I had a consultation with her. She was booked it on my website. We did a 1 hour walk around type consultation. Then from there, I did a few design boards, which I don't typically do. I typically will go to Daniel House Club and kind of put up, a few things that they wanted and then send it over and be like, cool, here you go. Here's some options. For this, like, it turned into a full blown project. I have absolutely loved working with her. It's going to be a super cool space, but I didn't need AI. She just had miscellaneous things that she was trying to fill in. So I did a few design boards, but like, never included that. There wasn't even a price point thing. It was just like, okay, she got it. She just got it. But then I have another client where we have been through a few different rounds of revisions at this point. She is in the demographic as my parents. And this is probably going to be like their last house. So she's got some specific things, and her husband has specific needs. And so I'm just being more patient with them because they want to see things in person. He needs to sit on things to make sure he can get up, all of that stuff. So for her, I am using AI. And for her, she tried to use AI before and she was like, I love green. And it all came out green. It was so funny. She was laughing about it too, but she was like, I send her these images and I send her different ideas, and it definitely helps her to visualize. But I do find that sometimes it can be a little bit confusing where it's like, well, that wouldn't be there. And so I have to just kind of remind her, I know that that's not there. I just wanted you to see the actual pieces. And I do try and set that precedent going through. I'm using this as a tool so that you can see the products. I know it's not the exact space all the time, but sometimes I get a really good image and sometimes they just come out where I get good inspiration even for like window treatments that I didn't ask for. And sometimes I include those because I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? It just kind of pushes that limit where I might have been thinking about treatments, but we weren't there yet. And I saw some in here, so let's talk about it, right? So those types of things and communicating and being able to be like, what do you like about this? What do you not like about this? How do you feel now that you see these pieces together? That is so helpful. Okay. And then this other client that I'm working with this week too is local. We're doing her bedroom. And I sent 2 design boards for that one. And she was like, well, I like this from here and I like that from there. And I was like, cool, let me do a little combination here. After that, I threw them in her room and messaged her that night. And she was like, oh my God, done. Like, let's order. So I actually need to call her in a minute. But after that, like, it it was just so easy because now she has the look, she can see it, she can see how all the products go. I always disclaim and say like, "Look, it's not scaled, it's not, okay?" The perspective of the picture is weird because of the one she gave me. This lighting is so odd today. It's so dark out. Tangent, not sponsored. I got this touch light I won it at our IDS Charleston thing from, Bullbright. They're literally, like, 11 minutes from my house. I didn't even know. So, this is a touch light, and I feel like a little Victorian lady because I carry this around in some of the rooms as I'm walking around just for lighting, but it's awesome. It goes everywhere. So, thank you, Bullbright, for, selecting me to win that one. Again, not sponsored, but it's so cool. And all these little portable lights are everywhere. This last client, yeah, she was great. It sold the idea, and she can now visualize it. We can now get stuff on order. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And she's like, "Come over and take pictures after." So hopefully I'll be able to have in a few months here when everything comes in, like a full, um, start to finish. Here's when I used AI. Here's how she approved it in a week, and we moved on. So that's really kind of cool. But these examples that I'm giving you are real life situations. Like sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't use it, sometimes I use it too much, and it might confuse the client a little bit, and that's on me. That's totally something that like I'm just now discovering is that some clients it is too much for at this point in time when I say, here's something we could do, or here's something we could do. So that's where I know that if it's too much for me to present these things and they have unlimited access to be able to create these images, that could be not a good thing, right? Like it could still lead to decision paralysis because there's so many choices out there, or they find something and can't find it and are loving that idea. But we can bring that into the real world and we can have that made and figure out the vendors and the trades and all of that stuff that can make that happen for you. So, that right there is why I know that we are safe in our professional careers. And that is also why I know that you need that factor to your company that sets you apart, but also tells that story about what you really do, right? Because our industry has not only been trashed by the tech companies that just take over and go for like the big people with the technology that we need notoriously. Um, and put it in the hands of everybody only to give them decision paralysis. And, there's a small percentage that can actually pull it off, but realistically, people can't. Like it's too much still. It's just like constantly putting everything in a Pinterest board and then you never have the ideas, right? It's the same thing. They just now they might be able to see it in their room, but like will they love it? Will they pull the trigger? Like will they actually ever order it? I don't know. And sometimes all that takes is the confidence that designers bring to the table because we know what we're talking about, like just the value of human will come back. Okay. Right now, I know it seems bleak, especially when you look at social media and all of that stuff. And that's why, yes, I'm going to pull it full circle. Okay, perfect. That's why I am not on social media because it's not human anymore. And so when I show up for you on social media and I say the things that I say, it's because I'm being real about something and it's something that I think you should know. It's also why I don't share prompts to create images online. You see these big accounts? I mean, some of them call themselves interior designers too. And that terrifies me that you're just sharing prompts and you don't care who they're going out to, right? Like, I don't want my Instagram to be big for that reason because I want to only speak to our professionals. I don't want over 100,000 people following me, getting my prompts. Those people are not my client. Those people are taking my clients' jobs. And if you don't see that and you follow those people, please, please just acknowledge what I'm saying right now because they're hurting our industry by sharing the things that they share to everybody. All right. I stopped doing the prompt thing for that reason because everybody has the technology. If you want to figure it out, go figure it out. It's not my job to take my job away, right? Like that's all I'm doing. If I teach you how to do that, I take all my friends' jobs away by teaching everybody else on the internet how to prompt and how to make these images until they figure out they can't do it and then they actually need a designer. And that's when human value comes back. All right. So that's all I got for today. Sorry it was so like random. It's been a really long week. It's been a really long year. I'm excited to take some time off. We'll probably do one more podcast episode this year. I do want to tell you guys more about the AI certificate program, but this has been a long episode, so I will do that next time. But I have like I said earlier, I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly staying two steps in front of people. And what I've created now, some people have gotten it. Actually, a lot of people, that have been in my group and everything, or at least just like I've taught before, they get it. We had a really great launch, and a lot of people have registered for the first semester and now getting access to the new apps that I've been building. So that's been awesome. But also, I know that what I'm telling you and what I've created is before you're ready for it. I know that. Okay. So I know it's confusing for that reason, because this is the future and we haven't done it yet. So this is something I've been planning and building for 2 years. And now I put it all together. Okay. So it's CEU, IDCEC accredited workshops and classes. Okay. So workshops I did one every single month, pretty much for the past year since May. And now workshops are technically classes, as they are now inside of the CEU certificate program, because I think we need validity, we need ethics, and we need practical use in our industry. And that's what it is. I'm going to teach you how to do that now that we have kind of plateaued and reached this point where we're trying to save our jobs. That's it. We're trying to save our jobs. We're trying to find our relevance. And that's why I built this. And that's why I also built the AI App Store Studio, because I have been building apps using Gemini and Nano Banana and all that stuff for 3 months now. I built actually longer than that. I keep saying 3 months, but I've been doing this all summer. I've got over 85 apps that I built, and I'm going to start sharing them with you guys because I build them when I need something done in my business. So if I'm building design boards or something like that, I built apps for it. So now they're ready and I've started releasing them. But this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm ahead. I started doing this months ago and kind of kept it under wraps. And now it's out. And now I have to educate you on what it is. And I'm here for it because that's what we do when we are ahead of the game. Okay. And so take that advice as what it is for you in your business model, because you've got competitors. How are you ahead of them? All right. And a lot of you just using AI are ahead of them because they're not. And this industry is archaic. And that's why tech companies come for you, because you let them. You let them. Like, step it up. I mean, come on. They're just eating your lunch, guys. All right? Okay. That's it. Sorry for my randomness. Have a lovely day. I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the AI for Interior Designers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tune in next week for more AI tips for your design business. See you next time.